Alright, everybody, I think this is just a quick little announcement. I'm starting the Discord, because otherwise I'm going to be left behind the times. I just started it. It's going to be run by me and Matt. So anybody who has questions for the channel, let me know here in the welcome text channel. I only have two right now. We have Hangout and Welcome, but I'm probably going to add questions, discussions, etc. And anybody who might have, advice for how to run this thing in the near future, it'd be very helpful to have. But anyway, there's going to be a link in the description, and if you have a Discord, please join. It'll mean that you can maybe join in for podcasts and other things in the near future. So please, if you will, it would be a pleasure to have you. Otherwise, let's move on to the video. Ciao. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this. Welcome back to this. What I used to say on Player 2 back then, where we talk about things that are ostensibly important in all of our lives. So it's been a week for me. I'm not going to use an adjective. It's just been a week where I live my life. And I hung out with Matt yesterday. For anybody who doesn't know Matt is probably going to be the guy who helps me run this channel pretty soon. He's known as BEO. A quick shout out to BEO. He's the drummer of Noble Truth for the moment, and he's a great guy. He makes beats and is a lot wiser than I am. In many regards, a man from whom there are many things to learn that could benefit your life. And so I was hanging out with Matt yesterday, another friend of his too, but I'm not sure if he's comfortable with his name being said on the channel, but we were all hanging out and just, talking about life and ways to socialize with people more effectively and how not to, be doormats to people's shit. And so that's basically supposed to mean that, I don't know about many of you, but I talk a lot about being agreeable on this channel, and even probably a little naive, because I grew up very introverted. I'm an only child. I don't know about a lot of you guys. Are you guys only children yourselves? And, I have an adopted sister, but she didn't come into my life until I was probably 13 years old, so the majority of my childhood would have been spent by myself, playing video games, not going outside, because I grew up in a city environment. Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin, in the way I just fucking said it. And so, being introverted and coming from, a very, just lower middle class white family, I guess, I just don't really have a lot of street smarts, or I didn't grow up with street smarts, knowing how to comport myself in situations with very dangerous people who could fuck me up. And that was very difficult for me when I was younger, because I thought everybody was like me. I thought everyone wanted to play video games and play Kirby like this, because my dad was a gamer himself. He introduced the Nintendo Entertainment System, the SNES, the SNES as he called it, and N64 at a very young age. And I thought, as a naive kid, I thought everybody was like me and my dad. Everyone wanted to play video games. Everyone wanted to play with Legos and toy cars. And then, as I hit puberty in middle school, people started to, care about social cred and all that. I kind of fell behind because it wasn't really interesting to me. I didn't really, understand the purpose of being the top dog in school, the most charismatic person, the funniest guy who had all the jokes and could make everybody piss their pants because they had, a list of wisecracks that they could pull out at any moment, or just impeccable wits. That was never me, And I think, I don't know if it has to do with our nature as a species, but you hear a lot about dominance hierarchies and male competition, and I was always really shitty about. I was always terrible at competing with anybody socially when I was younger, because I just didn't care. I didn't care, and the way I suffered from that, maybe like you guys, is I didn't get a lot of experience socializing. I didn't get experience, interacting with people. And one of the things that people with social anxiety need to get over, or at least start doing themselves, is, put themselves out in the world and start to develop social skills, because if you don't, you're just going to be left behind, and it's going to get harder for you as you age. And that's kind of where I've been in the last, maybe 2 or 3 years, when I finally have woken up and okay, my social skills are clearly retarded. That's right. not a PC word that many of you guys don't want me to say. I need to, play a game of catch up so I can, have more friends and be, god damn it, so I can be more, I guess, not necessarily likable, but just, so I can socialize and have friends and connections, because otherwise you live a very lonely lifestyle. And what this is kind of like getting at with Matt, I guess, when like why I was reminded of my, social ineptitudes, is, Matt was telling me that he grew up on a very rough side of town. He grew up on the north side of Milwaukee. That's what he was telling me. And, like, people are really rough on that side of town. They will eat you out. They will eat you up and spit you out. Like in reference to me, because I don't socialize enough. And what did he say? It's like, I gave him the example that, it always bothers me when a group of kids, it's like, well, it doesn't bother me, it's curious to me why people try to start fights by saying, like, bro, you look like a fag, why are you wearing those clothes, bro? Where'd you go fucking shopping? Did you go to H&M and buy that shit? Like, I don't know, like, what are you, a metrosexual? And then, like, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, bro, these are just my clothes. Like, I'm thinking that. And I, like, made it sound like that's what I would probably say to these people if I were ever to get, like, if I were thrown bait like that in real life. I wouldn't. I would probably ignore the comment, like, whatever, man, these people are just bored and they want me to react to them. And, like, I wasn't clear what I was thinking to Matt at the time, and made it sound like, I would take the bait. And to be honest, maybe if I were in a bad mood, maybe I would say something which is not healthy, not good at all. But Matt said, like, that is exactly what you don't do. I mean, people will run with any comment that you give them and chew you up and spit you out. So if I'm like, these are just my clothes, or if I have, like, some sarcastic comment to say, they would be like, oh, like, you think I'm funny, you little bitch? You want to fight? Something like along those lines. And I'm like, no, of course not. I don't want to fight. I'm just curious why you have a very unuseful, unnecessary comment to tell me. And Matt's like, you don't do that. You ignore it, and you move on. Like, you don't come across as timid. Don't look like you're scared. Just fucking ignore it, because, like, a lot of these people are, like, looking for fights because they want to prove to themselves that they're tough shit, that they're higher in a dominance hierarchy than you, and that they're, like, probably an alpha male or a sigma male. This coffee sucks. But yeah, like, just it was curious to me when I talked about that with Matt, because I think he's totally right. You don't take the bait when people come at you. And I don't know why it wasn't obvious to me when I was younger, because I always thought that I could just use like book smarts, like book logic, like like you read a good philosophy book on how to handle people, or a book on, like, not psychology, but, like, if somebody has a nefarious comment to say to you, you might think, like, oh, well, maybe if I confront this and I assert myself, it'll be better, and I will, like, damn it, sorry, I'll be better, and I will have properly defended myself against evil, or these bothersome flies, as Liquid Snake would call them, Metal Gear Solid. But that's not what you do. You ignore it. It's like, kind of reminds you of picking your battles a little bit. But according to Matt, he said, it's not necessarily that these people aren't logical. They're using a logic themselves. It's just street smarts, street logic, and that's something that I'm not used to at all. It took me a long time to really understand, how these folk who grow up in much rougher environments work. And goddamn, what the fuck am I doing? Okay, it's not helpful at all. And now I don't know, I mean, as much as I probably wouldn't want to associate with really rough types, I don't know, it's like men love to challenge each other's masculinity. And that was something that I never gave, like, even one thought when I was younger, because, I don't know if it's because I liked video games, if it has to do with the environment I was raised in, if it's a mixture of all three, or that I just don't care, or that I have, like, a slight issue just socializing with people in general. And I imagine that a lot of you guys relate to that, where you want to go out into the world and be as sincere as you can, and you hope to God that other people are going to be as sincere as you are with them, with you. But that ends up not being the case, and that sincerity, that like blind, naive sincerity that you give out, is just it's abused. It's then It's abused, and people have then they're folks are even more rough with you, and there isn't really a good explanation why. Like, you can't think to yourself like, well, I wouldn't want to be mean to people because it hurts, and I don't want to hurt other people. Why would they want to hurt you? They're, I suppose, in a very different headspace, and that's oftentimes, I think, why people like Jordan Peterson and Carl Jung say that it's important to develop the shadow. How Jordan Peterson always goes on about like developing your dark side and knowing how to be evil, because if you don't have the capacity for evil, then you are absolutely a victim, or a potential victim, of somebody who is capable of it. Yeah, and I think he's right. It's just it was especially difficult for me because I think I'm closer to what's known as an empath. And the irony, I guess, in like my life is I think I've had a lot of semi-sociopathic friends who do not have empathic qualities, empathetic qualities. And like the only way to get rid of those people, keep them out of your life, is to be evil yourself, because you can only fight that fire with fire. I mean, somebody like Gandhi might tell you to, like an eye for an eye makes the world blind. But I mean, like I think Louis C.K. went on a tangent about this. They tell you, like in school, for example, like if somebody's shitty to you, just ignore it. And like maybe ignoring it works in some circumstances, like Matt said. But like if somebody keeps coming at you, and the ignoring doesn't work, then you eventually have to show your capacity for evil a little bit, so that you don't get fucked with by these people. There's Jocko Willink was talking about this. Like, there's a video called "What to Do When People Treat You Like a Doormat," right? And what did he say? Some people are overly sensitive when they get a negative comment or they're made fun of, and they'll lash out immediately. They'll lash out and I guess unnecessarily. What was it? So like, say you're really docile, right? And you're always taking shit from your friends, or like in parentheses, in quotation mark, your friends. And then someday you get sick of it because you're so resentful of them being shitty to you that you just lash out. And so your friend's like, bro, I don't like your clothes, or I think your clothes look a little like non-stylish. Or like even a mild comment. You're like, man, fuck you. I'm gonna kick your ass. And then you swing at them. That's probably an overreaction to a comment like that in that particular context. And what Jocko Willink does to justify it as an overreaction is you take a dog, right? And like most dogs, when you fuck with them, they start growling. They go, that was terrible. They go, something like that. It's my fucking dog. Oh my god. That is my dog growl. And you hear that, and like any kid intuitively knows, okay, don't fuck with this dog, because it's probably gonna bite me if I keep fucking with him. It's like what happened with Mike Tyson on the airplane maybe about a week ago, with that asshole who wouldn't stop asking for his autograph. But if that same dog, you pet him the wrong way once, and you didn't even really like do anything wrong. Maybe you were like, I don't know, kind of being annoying, but not much, and the dog bites you and rips some skin off, or severely injures the child. Anyone in the right mind is gonna be like, okay, that dog needs to get fucking put down. There's something wrong with that dog. And so Jocko Willink, I think, said that if you want to get people to stop treating you like a doormat, one, you don't tolerate shit from people. I mean, at least from your friends. And if they start coming at you, you give them a warning. You're like, maybe they say one joke. You're like, ha, very funny. and you don't really give them the reaction that they want, and they keep fucking with you, then that's when you start to get a little assertive. Not right away. Maybe you just have like some comments like, "Hey, dude, where I'm from, like, you don't talk to people like that. I don't talk to my friends like that. It's not appreciated." And you say very firmly, and I guess like at that point, if motherfuckers still don't get it that you don't like being treated that way, then you're like, all right, that's not really acceptable, and maybe we gotta beat some ass, or maybe some boundaries gotta be set, or maybe I don't really want to associate myself with you because you clearly don't respect me. And like, this is something that took me years to learn, because I would just get upset with people. I'm like, why is everyone so shitty to me all the time when I'm nice to them? It's like, I feel like it's never reciprocal. And it's because like they don't care. They don't have the same amount of empathy as you, and they have like this sort of predatory aggression to them that if you don't fight back a little bit, then you're gonna be their prey. And as much as I hate the reality of that, it's like almost a dog-eat-dog mentality, kill or be killed, with especially like hyper disagreeable assholes. And I'm sure that maybe some of you guys in the audience here are more disagreeable than I am, although I highly doubt it. I think like most of the people are on the nicer side of the spectrum, more, I can feel other people's feelings more easily side of the spectrum, and kudos to you. But yeah, this is just very potent discussion, potent topic for me, because now I choose my friends a lot more wisely. I know when to give people warnings. At least I think I know when to give people warnings. And even though I don't really want to beat ass, be a dick, if I find that somebody's being overly narcissistic, annoying, or what's the word for it? Just disrespectful, I know what to do now. Because otherwise, I just become an enabler of shitty behavior. This guy's totally cornering me. Suck my fucking... Suck a bag of dicks, Mr. Bombard. Fucking name is Bombard. Oh yeah, Bombard, okay. Haha, very clever, Japan. But that's about that on that topic. I don't know how about you guys. I don't know how you guys feel. It's certainly just curious for me, because the world is full of shitty people. Even when you want to be a good person, quote unquote a good person, whatever the fuck that is, you are punished for your own virtue, and you're called out for, not called out, you're maybe you feel like you're not recognized for the good that you would like to do for the world. Maybe I'm wrong for even suggesting that I'm doing something and wishing for somebody to recognize that I'm doing it. Because maybe that sounds like a little, what is the word for it? Like, sound like a sycophant? I think that's the word. No, I don't know. I think sycophant's the right word. Maybe obsequious? Couldn't tell you. Unctuous? God damn it. Thinking of all these chewous words. I don't even know why I'm thinking about that right now. But yeah, this is it's frustrating for me, and what I would like to do is find folks who are just as, I don't know, are you guys sick of it too? You guys ever feel like you're nice to others and it's never reciprocated? Like you get resentful after a long period of time? Because that's definitely my my biggest issue with human beings, and I think part of the reason I have a hard time making friends, not because I don't know how to socialize with folks. It's like I just don't know if folks are as tolerant and empathetic as me. But then, I gotta be careful with the word tolerant, because we know that, for example, the hyper PC types, the hyper progressive types, who claim to be very tolerant, are the very intolerant people that they seek out to destroy. It's like hyper empathy. It's like you get so empathetic that you want to protect things, and you want to keep like the virtuous or like the harmless away from anything harmful, such that, like, I guess what would be a good example of this. We forget the importance of having the capacity for violence, for evil, because, you know, without violence, you know, think of like between men, for example. You know, when guys are getting into an argument, there is always the possibility that two guys are going to throw hands, and I think that possibility of throwing hands and kicking each other's ass mediates the behavior, the attitudes that men take in the midst of an argument. I don't know about women. I think women are, oh my god. I think women are they're curious beings to me, because I don't know about women throwing hands themselves. But yeah, you know, if you need to have some sort of evil or non-benevolence to you so as to maintain order, even though I kind of think of evil as just like a dirty word no matter the context. But I think that's the one of the cool ideas of our time that helped me kind of learn to socialize and get respect from my friends, is I know how to stand up for myself a lot more now. You know, I don't feel like people fuck with me as much, because I know when to push back. I know when to tell them, like, dude, this is not chill behavior, and I mean, I'm not gonna treat you that way, but if you're gonna continue being a punk, then why am I gonna hang out with you? Like, you're a dick, and maybe if I walk away from this, you'll wake up someday. But I'm not gonna waste my time, you know, enabling crappy behavior, because that's not what I want out of a friend. Maybe that's what this all comes down to, is like boundaries, you know? If you don't have boundaries, then, I mean, you risk letting any kind of person into your life. And there are a lot of people that we don't want in our lives, and that's so true for, oh hey, Shadow Kirby? Oh, I guess if I suck up Shadow Kirby, I turn into a fire thing. Well, whatever, I had fun with this little discussion today. Not sure if you guys are enjoying me playing Kirby. I'm gonna kind of end the discussion there. Just finish off with a couple more questions. You guys have any games that you'd like me to play? I can play, like Game Boy games, N64 games, anything retro, basically. GameCube's a little difficult. I don't have a capture card with me at the moment that I can use. But, you know, it would be cool to hear what you guys want me to play. And you can let me know, by the way. I mean, I said this earlier in the video. I'm going to preface this video with something about the Discord. But I've now opened a Discord chat that I'm going to be running with Matt, where we, you know, take potential podcasters, podcast guests, rather, and taking ideas where we have, like, open discussions. Maybe we're going to do a couple of live streams, too, where we, you know, discuss topics that people are interested about. And if you guys will, it'd be very cool to have you join in on that. So, this is a great way to end the episode. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up for me. So, again, just hold on. Probably cut this part. Damn it! If I die, that's gonna be in a video. Alright, okay, yeah, I died. That's it. I will see you guys on another video game, probably, that is potentially more interesting than Kirby. But you guys let me know, and I will see you in the next fucking episode of this. So, thanks for coming to this. Okay, peace out.